back, everybody. We're going to be looking at another money-making method. This is going to be smithing these steel bars into cannonballs. So this was actually suggested to me by a viewer of one of our other videos, the Guards for Grapes video. They had some comments on how to maybe improve that method, so be looking for a new updated version on that. But for now, I'm going to go through how to make these cannonballs, what all we need, and just how much money we might be able to make in an hour from this. Let's get started. Alright guys, now to make these cannonballs we do have to do a couple of things. We have to complete the Dwarf Cannon Quest in order to get our ammo molds that we used to actually make these cannonballs. You can see I don't have one right here. I never picked mine up after the quest, so we're going to go get it. While I'm doing that, let's talk about what we need to do for this quest. So first off, this is a members only quest. I hate doing members only content, but there's so much of it, right? So this is a members only way to make some money. First, I came over here to our dune, just using the teleport. If you need to walk over here, do that first. And we're gonna walk from our dune over here to the start of the quest. So this is just right by the fishing village, by all these goblins. There's some moss giants right there you may always want to farm. And just past this little watchtower right here. In here, we are going to chat with, let's see, we're going to chat with Captain Lawgruff in here. And you're going to go around and you're going to repair this fence. So you can see there's some fence spots there. Some of them will be broken and you'll just want to get those fixed. Alright guys, after we've repaired this fence, if I can get out of the gate, after we've repaired this fence, we do want to head up here to this watchtower. And you want to find some dwarven remains in here. I did find this with all the blood around, but you know, if you don't find that, this will let you know. Just come all the way up to the top there. Alright, from there we're just gonna head back down. And we're gonna walk over here back to Lawgruff. You're gonna talk with him a little bit, and he is gonna let you know that you need to find a missing dwarf. So, how are we gonna do that? He thinks the goblins have some caves around here, and you gotta go find those caves. Alright guys, these caves can be a tough one. They are right here in this Ardune dungeon link there. So there's a couple of ways to do this. I am just gonna go ahead and teleport back to Ardune, but you could just walk back if that's more your speed, right? Walk back through those goblins and everything. And here again from Ardune, we're just gonna walk back up and find this cave right here. So this is the one that we're looking for. Alright, here we are. Once we're in this one, we do just want to take this northeast passage here. Well, I guess I'm going the wrong way. Well, you want to get through this cave, right? That passage is a little bit easier, but you want to get through this cave. These guys will fight you, and they're kind of low level, but you want to be a little bit careful. Until you get all the way over here. Now, the dwarf you're looking for is in one of these crates right over here. So search all of these and you'll find him. From there, we just want to return back to our dwarf. So I'm going to go ahead and use that teleport again. And from there, we'll just walk all the way back to our dwarves. Now, when we get there, there's going to be one more thing to do that I can't quite show you. I do recommend the wiki for this, or you can just look at it. It's using some tools to tune up the cannon there. So we'll talk back with Lawgruff. He'll tell us to help fix this cannon, and then we'll go ahead and need some parts. So for that, we will need to go to the Dwarven Mines, which are not too far from Falador. So I'm going to go ahead and teleport to Falador there. And once we're back in Falador, we just want to walk up to that Dwarven Mine. Now be careful here, this is tricky. I've accidentally killed a lot of dwarves over here, but you do want to talk to this guy right here, Nulodian, I don't know. Once we chat with him a little bit, let's see. We want to get from him one of these ammo molds. Now, when you do this quest normally, he'll just give it to you, but I forgot to get mine, so that's why I had to pick it up. You do want to go ahead and bring that back to Logriff and finish the quest. Let's see. Now, they do recommend that you complete the drop trick to get a second mold from him so that you don't have to do exactly what I did and rebuy one, but either way, it cost 5 gold. It was pretty much nothing in the grand scheme of things. We'll come on back to Logriff over here. You'll chat with him and then the quest will be completed. After that, once you add that ammo mold to your tool belt like I just did, you will be able to go ahead and make these cannonballs, and that's the big thing that we need from this. So now let's go ahead and get mining and figure out just how many cannonballs we can get in an hour. Alright guys, we are back after about an hour of mining some iron and coal to make the steel that we need for these cannonballs. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on that. We'll see how long we can actually get through with smithing, and then we'll go ahead and come back and see just how much we can make off of these cannonballs. So let's watch this. Alright guys, and we are done with the smithing. So we went ahead and we smithed about 483 steel bars. So that's the iron and the coal together, and that's how much we mined in an hour. All that mining for an hour only took about 16 minutes to smith, which is a good number to know. I was never really exactly sure how much time mining went to smithing, and it looks like you have to mine for 4 hours to be able to smith for about an hour, which is crazy. So again, we had 483 ores, and that did come out with some additions to about 65 or 548 bars, giving us 65 extra steel bars there. So that is from that level 27 higher in smithing if we're talking about steel specifically, but that is a skill that kind of fluctuates based on what ore you're working with, so you always want to check that sort of stuff. Alright guys, let's go ahead and take a look at how much we're actually going to make when we do turn this into cannonballs. So you do just go right to the furnace, that smelting mini there, and we'll go ahead and make our cannonballs. Looks like I can make a max of 60, so let's just see. Alright guys, here we are finished with everything, and I do want to talk about the results of this little experiment. So what did we do? We went ahead and we mined for about an hour. In that time, we went ahead and collected 483 iron and 483 coal. I had one extra coal or something in there, doesn't really matter, right? We did go ahead and smith that into steel bars, and with having smithing over level 27 and even higher for me, we did earn some extra bars, so ultimately I ended up with about 543 steel bars from this. That was about 65 extra bars, so that right there was a little bit of extra. Now, we were able to take all 643 of those bars and turn it into about 2,192 cannonballs. So, I do want to talk a little bit about what that's going to mean for us. Cannonballs cost about 1,829 on the Grand Exchange there. So let's go ahead and pull that up, 1,829, and we can times that by our 2,192 cannonballs. So that is going to be just right at 4 million, which for the hour of mining, and then honestly about another hour of smithing steel bars and cannonballs, that's not too bad. If we divide that by 2 hours, right, we're of course looking at about 2 million an hour. Now, there are some ways to really kind of speed this up, so I do want to talk about that a little bit. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and speed this up, you could go ahead and complete a couple other quests, so Ghost Ahoy and this medium Mauritania achievement to get those Mauritania 2 legs. That would mean that if you came out here to port Phasmite in Mauritania, let me pull that up there, and you smithed that furnace specifically with these cannonballs, you would earn extra. So that can be pretty nice as well to kind of help with these profit margins, but of course you do need to have that extra stuff unlocked, and I'm all about trying to find ways that we don't need to have extra stuff done. Alright guys, I just want to add one thing to this kind of cannonball smithing guide here. So part of this process was mining the stuff for that steel and making those steel bars, and in this process I realized that is also a pretty lucrative way to make some money, so I want to point some of that out as well, right? So we did go ahead and mine 483 of the iron and the coal, right? The coal is worth 349 a piece, so let's do 349 times that 483 that we mined. That's gonna be almost 200,000 right there if we were to buy that off the Grand Exchange. And the iron that we mined is worth 1,601, so let's do that as well. 1,601 times that same 483, which is what we mined, and that gave us a 773,000. So let's go ahead and take a look at that history. If we add the 168 to that, so 168 to that, so we'll go ahead and add 168,000, and we'll have almost 1 million. So just by selling the coal and the iron alone, you can make almost 1 million, right? So that's 1 million an hour there. But the key piece here is that smithing, right? So if we were to buy that stuff off the Grand Exchange, it would cost that 1 million, but then we could turn it into these bars, right? So the steel bars are worth about 3,650, and we had 548 of those with the extra bars that we mined. So 548 times the, what did we say, 3,000 times the 3,650 times 3,650, and that comes out to almost 2 million. So that only took an additional 15 minutes to smith. I think that's absolutely worth it, doubling your money there, right? So that is another great way to try and make some money with this method. Alternatively, that does mean that it could only cost 1 million in order to get that 4 million that we made with the cannonballs in that hour that we actually spent smithing. So if you were just to buy the 1 million off the Grand Exchange, turn it into cannonballs, smith it into steel, turn it into cannonballs, that would be a 3 million profit an hour there, which is another great way to go with this method. So listen, once again, thank you guys. This was really interesting. This is something I'd heard about but never got to do, and I'm really glad I got to try it out. So maybe you guys will get out there and start smithing some cannonballs now. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.